Chatter.
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 Chowder. Chowder.
Chowder. Chatter. We're doing chatter.
Chatter.
We're chattering.
Chattering. Chatter.
What's good, creeps?
Chattering.
It's a B-side.
It is a B-side.
2,000
2000.
downloads, listens, whatever you want to call it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is the episode where we just do
We just say thank you for
in different accents.
Yeah,
that's all we have.
For a solid 45
We've got
minutes.
Borat, fucking Family Guy, or not Family Guy.
Borat, that's it.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
That's the other one.
Damn it, Bobby.
Borat. I like.
I saw propane.
And then some sort of redneck from Kentucky somewhere.
Yeah. Miscellaneous Redneck 3.
Yeah. So yeah.
So what's going on, man?
Nothing, dude.
B-side.
B-side. I'm stoked. I couldn't believe, dude. I can't believe, first of all, how many people have fucking listened to us.
Continue to listen.
Continue to listen.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, hitting 2,000 is pretty fucking awesome.
It is pretty crazy.
It gets me all pumped up. Makes me feel a little funny.
Yeah, it does it.
Tingly. A little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gross. No.
Yeah.
But it is really fucking cool.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
It is very surreal.
Yeah,
for
sure.
To think that not only have we continued to put out episodes, but people continue to listen.
Yeah. And please continue to do so, because we'll keep putting them out.
Yeah.
You keep listening, we'll keep fucking doing it.
Well, that is.
We'll probably keep doing it anyway. But
yeah, we'll keep doing it.
Because it's fun as hell.
I mean, I think that our original plan for this was to just continue to put them out, whether people listened or not.
Yeah, we didn't actually think anyone would listen. Well, maybe a couple buddies or something.
Yeah, but the fact that we've kind of
was purely selfish.
Gotten to the point where people are tuning in.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I got to step up my game.
Yeah. Shit.
It probably won't happen.
Yeah, well. There's always hope.
There's always hope.
There's always
That's
hope.
what keeps it alive.
Yeah. So, what are we gonna do for our special episode?
Yeah, I don't know. We've been all over the place with the topics, and like we talk about, we're not specific to one genre or one type of thing. So I figured 2,000 fucking listens is a good place, and we've done enough episodes that I'm kind of wondering what like your favorite and maybe least favorite moments have been, or episodes. So I figured we could just kind of do like
episodes.
We'll play some cheesy music and do like a montage or something. A fucking music montage.
Yeah, no.
But we'll reminisce, if you will.
Reminisce.
Well, no, I'm serious. Like,
looking back.
I have my favorites for different reasons. I have one. It's probably going to be yours, but I have a favorite of mine, and I think I have a favorite of yours. So I'd kind of like to...
Is that how we're going to do it? One of yours, one of mine, favorites, and then
sure.
dislike?
Well, that's what we're going to plan on doing, and then what we actually do, who the fuck knows?
Where the fuck we end up?
We never know where we're going anyway.
The best laid plans.
Right. But yeah, we're
yeah, I mean...
never on script.
It's been a wild ride, man. I say that like, it's been years.
It's been 3 fucking months. No, 6-ish months.
6-ish months, I guess. Close to 6 months that we've been recording.
Yeah.
And I think if for anybody that's listened to us since episode 1,
yeah,
to the point that they've gotten to where we are right now, has seen probably not a whole lot of change in us.
What we're doing, right?
But definitely like an improved quality.
Yeah, we stepped the audio way up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tony. And honestly, we didn't want to have to re-record anything else.
Yeah,
record anything over, I should say, a second time.
Well, I mean, for a couple of reasons. I mean, not just because whatever, like we don't want to do it, but I don't think you get the same product if you had to re-record some stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
We actually had a conversation earlier about the potential of maybe like revisiting a couple episodes that we had done previously because of the audio quality.
We loved the episode, but there was the shitty popping in it because I was like, well, fuck, I'll YouTube how to do this, and clearly it was fucking wrong.
Well, and we've tried we've tried to do a couple things to because we've talked previously about how intense our schedules are, you know, so we tried
Right.
like maybe
Phone calls,
or if there was, you know, different apps that we could use. And I mean, just being
So
in the
far-
basement's really just the fucking only way that we
We've
could do
tried
this shit.
every fucking app, every whatever, and everybody has. Oh, you could use this or that. None of that shit works. We did Friday the 13th episode, which was a lot of fun, but obviously the result wasn't as awesome as we would have liked.
It's not. It could have been better.
Yeah. So so we've improved. That's good.
Yeah,
I
so-
like the optimistic.
Yeah, and the other thing is that, you know, kind of like our promise to you, the listener, is that we're not gonna like look if it compromises the quality or what we're doing, we're gonna do everything in our power to stop
Right. Yeah, for
that
sure.
from happening.
Yeah, nobody wants to listen to something, whether it's entertaining or not. Hopefully you find us entertaining, but nobody wants to fucking listen to something if it doesn't sound good or if it's hard to hear. Or, you know, it's aggravating if you got to turn the fucking volume up to 25 and then a fucking commercial comes on and it's
Fucking screaming and
blast your
fucking-
speakers out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do our best to step up and keep our game tight.
Yeah, toit like a toiga.
But we ain't going to change what we're doing because this is who we are.
Yeah.
And it's fun as shit. We're storytellers. And I think we've told some hella good stories, dude.
Yeah, we have. Very proud of a vast majority of the things that we've done.
Yeah. All right. So off the top, what do you have one? Well, let's start with me.
Okay.
Do you have one of mine that you actually particularly enjoyed?
No,
Yeah. Fuck.
they're all terrible.
They're all terrible.
They're all shit.
I fucking
They're all
knew that was
shit.
coming.
They're all shit stains.
I
on-
literally
on the-
just fucking laid it up for you. There
Yeah.
you go, man.
I mean,
Spike it.
no, you're just terrible. No, I mean,
I hate you.
I will say that I think one of the best. I don't know if it's the best story that you've told. I think one of the ones that I enjoyed the most, sitting on the other side of the microphone,
Right.
was the Israel Keys story. I really liked that ride.
Cool. Yeah, that was a fun one.
I mean,
He was just, that's a wild story, man. Like, that dude lived a crazy life.
yeah,
And he wasn't, like, it was a crazy story, but, you know, he was never, like, really the bad, you know, like a fucking bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was killing bad guy. Oh, dude, he's horrible. He's a fucking horrible person, but.
no, I'm not talking Pedro Rodriguez. I'm talking Israel Keys.
Oh, fuck. No, dude. Oh, never mind. He
was a terrible
the
dude.
Antichrist.
Yeah, he was this fucking horrible guy.
Yeah. Pedro Rodriguez is what I was where I was going. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, because we talk about him all the time.
Yeah, no. I the Israel Keys story, I think I enjoyed that one because,
Oof, that one was.
well, it was a rough story, but I liked the conversation back and forth about it.
Yeah.
I like the resolution that we came to, whether it's just a pipe dream or not. That is the resolution that I live with in my daily.
Yeah, you brought that up, and I was like, oh, I loved the ending for me because I had already done the research, so I had already had in my head like this is what happened, you know, and you know, I don't want to do a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
but no, you did at the end. You brought that up, and I said, well, that makes it fucking way more. It sits better. You know what I
Right.
mean? I was like, that, I can live with that.
But you saved that story. That was your story. Like, you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That was kind of like an audible that you called.
Yeah.
And
I'd want to do that from jump.
Yeah, from Jump Street.
Yeah.
And so, like, you presented the story really well. Like, I just felt like all the pieces of that one worked. That story worked real well.
Sweet. Was that a compliment? Holy fuck.
Yeah, man, fucking write it down on
I'm,
the calendar.
I'm dizzy.
Write that shit down on the calendar.
No, that's awesome. That one was that was wild.
It was a wild ride, man. But I felt like, you know, because you're very meticulous about, you know, you write a whole bunch of stuff down, like you bounce off a bunch of different websites, and you know you come to the story with, you know, trying to do it the justice that it deserves, which is I think what we both really kind of
try
do.
to. Yeah, absolutely.
We make the joke like it's story time. Like we don't take the research may have a gap here or there, but really at the end of the day, we're trying to get the heart and soul of the story, which is this or that.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, yeah, we joke all the time. Yeah, we're not fucking. We don't care about the research. Like, that's fucking horseshit. Like, we take this shit serious. Like, we're trying to do a good job, and I'm trying to make sure I cover all the. And you point it out when I don't. Fucking real quick, and grammatically correct. Whatever. But fucking. We try to do the research right, but the point of it is, and the most important thing is the story itself and having fun telling it. So that's why we always say we're fucking storytellers. We're not fucking,
Yeah, we're not research. We're not like detectives.
Yeah,
we're not investigators.
Although we crack a lot of cases.
Yeah, man, dude, you should see the line of investigators waiting out here to just have a little conversation with us about how we think about things.
Call them boys at BOTE. They figured it out.
They cracked the case. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, like telling the story is what's important to us.
Yeah.
Maybe not doing the book report side of it.
No,
we're doing it. I mean, we've told stories that are not fun.
100%.
But we try to have fun, as much fun as possible with this.
Yeah. And speaking of fun, this is, guess what? It's a good segue. Motherfucker. Dude, I was going to say it, and then I caught myself saying it. Damn it.
Yeah, it's great.
Look, it is what it is, all right?
It's great, man. It's a segue.
Speaking of fun,
it's a segue.
The most fun, that was like fucking set up totally.
It's a segue.
The one that I enjoyed and was the most fun for me personally, because one, I didn't have to do any research, but the ride was fun for me, was the Russian sleep experiment. Because you fucking had me going. So the Russian sleep experiment, one, awesome story.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal story.
That was fun.
I didn't know that much about it. I had heard about it, but I didn't really know the details. So I was, sucked in, and I'm fucking, going. And then all of a sudden you're like, it's bullshit. You're fucking. I was like, oh, dude. Like, I remember just being immediately like a little bit relieved because I don't want that horrible shit to happen to anybody. Right. Obviously I'm not a fucking monster, but then just being like, God damn, I feel fucking like let down, deceived. I was pissed, happy.
I'm hurt a little bit.
I was like all this emotion. I was like, fuck, that was awesome. Because I never saw it coming. Yeah. So it was a good story, but also it had a fucking fun, twist.
Well, that one was fun for me to do because
you knew you were gonna fuck with me.
Well, the original idea for that story, the topic that you gave me, was the worst way to die.
Yeah, womp.
And I literally I was like, I'm not fucking doing that.
You did, dude.
That's like really one of the only audibles I think I've pulled in the 6 months.
Yeah, I've pulled a lot.
Yeah, you pulled a lot of audibles, but that was the only one where I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
You did. You said, well, my answer is one word. Cancer.
Yeah.
You're like, and my real topic is, because you're like, you're an idiot. I'm not doing that shit.
Well,
don't try to argue with me.
Yeah, I mean,
you said cancer. I'm not going to.
Like, I feel like you
win that one.
That was a valid answer.
It was. And I wasn't going to argue it.
I just wanted to tell a different story at the time. And
it was a way better story, and I'm glad you fucking did that.
So that was a fun one to present. As well.
Yeah,
and that the idea for that story actually came from a lot of what we do with this podcast is, you see stuff that floats around on the internet.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, where did this story come from?
Where'd it come from? Right.
And the way that my brain works is I start picking immediately at the details, like, okay, where did this story come from? Why, where, I pick at all the questions, and that was a fun one for me, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And this podcast gave me a reason to fucking dig, like to fucking go into it.
Hell yeah. So that was my favorite for you, as far as now technically that wasn't my favorite overall, but it was the favorite experience. It was my favorite, ride, if you will.
Ride, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and I did like when I told that story, like I loved your reaction when you found out it was bullshit.
Well,
you were just like, oh.
Yeah, dude, and what was cool?
Because you were like taking notes, like, okay, I want to ask this, and
dude, straight up, I did a mental fucking checklist. I might have actually written notes. I don't remember, but because I was so into the fucking story. So the one thing that I was afraid of is that wouldn't translate to a listener. But then somebody actually made a fucking comment that was like, oh, Josh's reaction, he was so pissed. I was like, fuck, that's so great. So hopefully that was a fun ride for everybody too. Cause, I was,
yeah, that was,
if nobody could have heard my, gasp, it wouldn't have been as cool.
Audible shock.
Yeah. Audible shock. That's right. Personally, as far as, my favorite that I've done, so one of my favorites was an early one, and we've talked about the audio issues and everything. Hinterkaifeck, man, the Hinterkaifeck murders. I loved that story. That you gave me that was on your list.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about it, so I loved the research. I loved the story of it. I loved that it was
a good story, man.
It was left kind of unknown. I hated that there was popping through the entire fucking episode, and it's still there because people have said they love the story, but I know the audio is fucking horrible. So, by the way, if that's the first episode that you listen to, which obviously wouldn't be the case because you wouldn't hear me saying this, but just move past it. But I loved telling that fucking story, and so that was probably on a research side, probably the most fun, I would say, that I had researching, at least.
I mean, I can see that. It was like, honestly, it was early in what we were doing, so I think there was already still some of that, ooh, this is fun.
Yeah. Well, it was the second one we posted, but I had done some research on a handful of them. So, but that was the second one, technically the first episode that I recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that one sticks out for me so much.
I thought Catherine Knight was the first one we recorded.
Maybe we did. Maybe it was just the first one I posted. I don't remember. Fuck.
All right. Well, I mean, that it is unfortunate that the audio is bad on that one.
Yeah.
Because that one's one of my favorites too. Like I did love that.
It's a cool ass story.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing about it. I think that's why it was so much fun, because I loved the learning about something new.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of the other ones I've known little bits about even. Still fun, but that one I knew nothing about. Yeah. Completely blindsided.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the fun of...
Well, that was what we started with. Hey, man, you're going to give me a bunch of shit that hopefully I've never heard of, and I'm going to give you a bunch of shit that hopefully makes your stomach fucking turn. That was my goal from the get-go, from jump, dude.
Dude, you fucking won on...
The old Ripper crew.
There's been some other stuff that we've gone down the road on, and I think my favorite storyline, everything, it's in another early episode
that you did,
that I did.
Yeah.
It was cannibalism in World War II.
Oh yeah, dude, I knew you would like that. You're a history dude.
Yeah, I'm a history dude. It was a story that I kind of knew about. I didn't know the levels that it had gone to. I think we went to some interesting places with that episode. It was kind of a fun ride for me. It kind of keyed on a lot of things that interest me when it comes to World War II, little known facts, things along those lines. And then,
well, I also I've told you this. It was somewhat selfish because I was like, well, okay, he'll like the World War II part and the history part, but I was like, well, let me throw some fucking cannibalism in there, for myself, because that's what I want to fucking talk about or hear him talk about. Yeah. But you ended up, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that the one where you started bringing up the fucking zombie disease?
Yeah, man.
I forget what it's called, but where if you eat a brain, you turn into a zombie or something.
Yeah, after a while, it starts to deteriorate the proteins in your brain and burrows holes, and you basically end up acting like a zombie because of it.
Yeah, so I like that because that was cool. And honestly, yeah, it was. Well, I mean, dude, there were some gruesome details. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't know the level.
There's definitely some
the old Japanese got a little crazy fucking back then, dude.
Yeah. Well, and it was weird. I think that was one of the first episodes where, I mean, we've covered a lot of cannibalism on this podcast.
There's been a few of them.
But it was weird. We had justified cannibalism.
Yeah, right.
And then we had terroristic cannibalism.
Yeah.
And it
Cannibalism for fun
Yeah.
versus survival.
yeah. So, to me, that was one of my more fun.
That's
I
a
hate
good-
to we say that
Yeah, I know.
a lot, that this was fun, but that was
That one's
an
that's okay to
interesting-
say that one was fun though. That was research and that was history. You know,
unless
you
your
learned
family was one of your family members was one of the people on an island
that's
getting
fair.
eaten that got ate,
They got 8. Yeah, that's true. That,
gabbled up.
that would have not been fun to listen to. I
Yeah,
guess,
no, like but yeah, no, I enjoyed the research. I can say that I enjoyed the research on that one.
right on.
But I mean, I think that in all of our episodes, that the episodes that I research, that I do, I try to bring my own little flair or twist to
You
the
always bring
episode.
something to it.
Yeah, so that one, like you said, the zombie disease.
Yeah. What the fuck was that called? Anyway, yeah.
Those kind of like I said, with a lot of my episodes, dude, I put that shit to bed and I walk away.
Yeah.
But so I'm not going to come up with the name of the. I could look it up, but I'm not going to.
No, you don't need to. Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I think that was probably my.
You know what I forgot about though? I'm looking up at our list. I totally fucking forgot about the Blue People of Kentucky.
That was a good one, man.
Well, that one was fun because we have personal experiences.
Yeah.
And so we got to tell like a fucking, story of something that actually both of us had been through. And then you told one that I wasn't there for, but that was cool as hell too.
Well, it's like an outlandish story.
Yeah.
That people are like, oh, blue people, like whatever.
Like bullshit.
And that, like, I mean, there are probably people out there that listen to that have listened to that episode and like, I don't fucking buy it, and that's fine.
That are calling us, they're calling bullshit on us.
But I mean, I'm not a starry-eyed dreamer. Like, if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't say it.
I am, but motherfucker, I was there.
Yeah.
I'm not making that shit up.
Yeah. So I mean, that one was.
We were both there. Fuck.
That was an urban legend that we've both seen with our own eyes.
The Blue People of Kentucky are fucking real. Dude.
They're real. They're an
real as
urban
fuck.
legend that exists.
Yeah, for sure. But that was a fun episode. One, yeah, I threw a little bit of, okay, here's the history of and I actually didn't know 100% like kind of where it stemmed from or whatever. So I did learn a little bit, but for me it was just more of just us kind of shooting the shit about some crazy times and shit that involved
Yeah.
blue people.
Yeah, and I did like the fact that I could bust your head a little bit on research on that one too.
Oh yeah, you brought in the bloodline and
the bloodline
Yeah.
of the monarchies.
I forgot about that one. That one was really fun.
That was a good episode.
That might actually trump Hinterkaifeck for me, but I don't know. They were both fun. Can I have 2?
You can have as many as you want. This is the
Well,
point
do
of
you
this.
have like an overall, like
an overall?
like favorite for whatever reason? I have one that I think represents us. I don't know. I have one that I think if someone said, which one should I listen to, that I would tell them.
Really?
Yeah. And I have a feeling it's going to be the same one you say.
Same time. No, I'm just kidding. We're not doing the same time.
Same time. We'll never fucking get it right.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
You go, fuck, Ripper Crew.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
So for real, Ripper Crew.
You like the Ripper Crew?
So here's the thing about the Ripper Crew. I, again, selfishly enjoyed that because I know how fucking tough that was for you to get through the first time around. So for those of you that don't know, you should know. But
I think it's really confusing to people who are going through the podcast too, where it says take 2.
right.
They're like, well, where
explain.
the fuck is
Go ahead, explain.
Take
1?
Yeah. Okay, so the Ripper Crew episode, for everyone that listens knows that was a pretty rough episode.
It was on my list, and I was waiting to give it to him because I knew it was going to be a dark one. I didn't know. Actually, I did not know how dark. To be fair,
And I walked into it blindly. So I presented the episode originally, and I felt like I did a pretty good job.
You crushed it.
Of presenting the fucking horrible subject matter.
Oh, dude, you crushed it. I mean, it wasn't a funny episode at all.
So fast forward to the time that episode is going to be released. My son is spending time in the hospital for an illness that he did recover from. For anyone,
He's good to go. Man.
He's good to go.
Don't worry.
So, but I get a text message whilst in the hospital from Josh, who says, Ripper Crew
Bad
is
news.
shit.
Yeah, or-
Ripper Crew is shit. We can't post it because the audio is too bad. We there's no way. And this stemmed to a conversation where I was literally willing to quit. I was so there's so much shit going on. That was such a rough episode for me to have to do, that the idea of me having to revisit it and redo it, and the idea that it wasn't going to do the episode justice if I had to redo it.
Right, because the
shock and
the
awe.
shock from me, because I didn't know the level of detail that he was going to go into, let alone I didn't know the actual details. When I gave it to you, I knew it was dark, but I just didn't know
Where it went.
how dark. And so the initial reaction was what we were afraid wouldn't work
play.
the second time, right? But let me jump in and say, after your kid was all good to go and everything, we actually literally tried to send this off to a professional audio fucking fixing company or whatever, and they said
They sent it back and they're like, no.
You're a SOL, bud. That shit ain't gonna work. You were like, all right, fuck it, let's do it, because it's too good of a topic.
The story itself
And it's
is horrific as it was. We both agreed that it was something that we needed to do.
yeah, and he was on board. And I'll just say, your second time around, you were a little bit more lighthearted with it because you had to come at it a different approach.
Yeah.
But you crushed it again, and you actually managed details that you left out, you put back in. So I still had the same shocked sort of
I felt like
disgust.
that was the only way that it was going to work, is because I did the first time through, I tried to kind of spare some of the darker shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I left a lot there was a lot of dark shit in the first time through, but the second time through, I was like, look, man, I'm just going to not necessarily pile on, but some of the stuff that I kind of left out, I just kind of went back in and was like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna go in. No, I mean, I wouldn't have done the episode. Like, I there was a hard line in the sand for me when you initially told me that we were gonna have to fucking do it again, and I was like, no, dude, hard pass, like hard fucking pass.
Right.
Like, I'm not fucking doing this again.
But the second time around, though, it was because you had already kind of digested it, I guess, a little.
Yeah.
You were able to kind of have fun with it. You brought back, this is the first time I heard the creepy voice or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it ended up being, if there's any fucking way to make that episode fun, you did it. You know what I mean? So, and the reason I say that kind of represents us is because it's a story where we told it. It's horrific. We cracked our dark humor jokes, and our defense laughter was there. And so we did what we normally do. But then at the end, we gave our take on it, on something, the fact that motherfucker's walking around, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we were able to have a good discussion, which is what I like in an episode. You tell a story, whether it's horrific or not, and then we have our own discussion about it.
Right.
And so that we did with that episode, and I felt it went like really fucking well. So
I swear I'll in the new season I'll tone down my pleas for the return to capital punishment throughout the 50 states.
You're right.
I don't know how I'm going to do that.
When you're right, dude. You don't need to tone that shit down.
I'm a huge advocate for capital punishment in certain situations.
In certain situations. And then if you want to die, we don't want you to die.
Yeah, like I agree, man.
It was a tough one, but I thought it was a great episode.
I don't think that there's not a whole lot of the subjects that we've done where I don't know that you could have. I think we would just lose the episode.
Yeah.
As opposed to re-recording with a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that one was justifiable in us re-recording and really paying it the story, the justice that it was due.
Hell yeah.
I agree. I agree that's a good view of. I will tell you, I don't know that I agree that is what I would present as.
Think it's too much for first, like.
No, not necessarily that. I think the best view. I think overall, us as a podcast, that is correct. I think a good view of our banter, conversation, humor, lighthearted. The lighthearted side of our podcast, like when we don't have an episode that's about murder and mayhem. Because we've done episodes that aren't about murder.
Yeah, time travel was fun.
Time travel was a fun one. We did Stanley Kubrick 2-part.
Toynbee Tiles.
Yeah, that was a good one. But I think one of the most fun that I think that we've had. And tell me if I'm wrong, but
I don't know what you're gonna say.
What the fuck Portland? I think was one of the most fun episodes that we did.
See, that was a fucking B-side, and that was awesome. And I always forget about that one too, because that was your episode, and I didn't know where you were going with it, because when you pitched it to me, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this thing called What the Fuck Portland. I was like, oh, so what, we're just gonna bash Portland that I've never been to and I know nothing about? What the fuck am I gonna say? I was like, all right, dude, I'm along for the ride. But it ended up being hilarious, and it was a lot of fun. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but it was
totally opposite of the Ripper Crew, but a lot more banter, which is it is fun, and that does kind of describe or showcase what we like to do.
The fact that like we can, do really heavy subject matter, or we can do, just fun bullshitting around.
There you
go. Just two guys telling a story.
Yeah. Okay, so change my answer a little bit. I'll say, okay, you have to listen to Ripper Crew and then What the Fuck Portland.
Yeah, that would be a good afternoon
so that you don't go to sleep thinking about the fucking Ripper Crew.
Yeah, you have to start with the Ripper Crew. Yeah. You can't go into the Ripper Crew after What the Fuck Portland.
No, it doesn't work the other way around.
It's got to be the other way around.
Yeah, you're right. That was a really good one.
Yeah,
that was fun.
It was kind of off the cuff. It was kind of a fun, fast episode. I think the B-sides are fun.
They are.
I do enjoy doing them because they are a little bit more on the fly.
Well, on the fly, it's not. We haven't done research per se. You know what I mean?
If we've done research, it's not as deep of a dive. Into
because
research.
we just kind of want to see where it goes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. All right.
It's a little bit more conversationally driven.
Yeah. Right on.
Than telling the tale
of woe. Yeah. So you got I guess coming up. Because we're dropping this for the 2000, but we've recorded a couple other ones. We've got some more heavy hitters coming.
Yes.
So some things to look forward to. Some a really dark one that I suffered through. And Eric suffered through as well. Yeah. Because he had to listen.
Wow. I mean, I think when you have to tell a story that's super dark, it's almost easier. Because you can kind of neglect to say something here or there if you choose.
I didn't. I wish I had.
But also, like, if you're just sitting there for the ride, you're like,
oh God.
And you're like, oh fuck.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
And you didn't know it was coming.
I'm stuck in the corner.
Yeah. But we also have some fun ones coming. A lot of listener suggestions.
Yeah.
Which I'm fucking really stoked about.
Yeah, the listener suggestions have been coming in pretty hot and heavy.
Yeah,
so
pretty hot.
Continue to do so.
And we've said it probably a ton of times, but they don't. Your suggestions don't have to be,
heavy
dark
hitters,
and
killers.
Heavy. Yeah, right. You could do whatever the fuck you want. Suggest anything funny, fun, whatever.
I mean,
it could be dark and gloomy.
Yeah,
and whatever,
it can be dark and sinister.
Yeah, we like that too.
But we for anyone that does suggest something that's a little outside of the box, it may take us a little while to get some traction on how to do the episode. That doesn't mean that we're not going to do it. So,
well, we may not do it.
Yeah, we may not. We may not.
You never know.
You may give us something. I'm like, dude, I got no fucking.
Yeah.
I got no fucking direction.
Just give us something else.
Yeah. So
eventually you have a winner.
But yeah, no. We have quite a library of heavy hitters that are sitting kind of in the backlog right now.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of sticking to the one from a listener, one suggested by either you or I.
You mean as far as topics?
Yeah,
just in
like
general?
For episodes, it's like, okay, like I might do a listener suggested, and then you do an episode that I suggest, and then vice versa the next week.
Well, yeah, so I don't want to lose, because for me, part of the fun is giving you an episode that's going to make you squirm or whatever, or something that I just want to hear about.
Yeah.
And you do that every fucking time with me. You give me something that you know that it's going to make me hopefully either have fun for you, either it's going to be fun for you, or I'm going to suffer through it.
Yeah.
With the research and shit.
Yeah. So
that's how we started off, and I never want to lose that. But I'm really starting to fucking enjoy the listener suggestions. I hate to say it.
And I think that especially some of the ones who've heard their episodes come through the
yeah.
And even some of the listeners who haven't suggested and had to listen to some of or have gotten to listen to some of the suggested episodes are like, oh my God, like I didn't see Charlie Chopoff coming. Like that one hit me out of the blue.
How many times can I say fuck you, Andy?
Yeah, dude, that was
I think I've said it.
Great suggestion, Andy.
I think I've said it every episode since then, by the way.
Yeah, it's been an amazing ride for me just hearing you. That was
drop
great.
F-bombs on him.
That was great, man.
It was great.
So okay, episode that you didn't
That I didn't like.
you didn't like.
I did. I don't dislike any of them.
It doesn't have to be my episode, your episode. It can be a portion of an episode, something that you thought fell short, something that you would like to pull back a little, rewind a bit.
Every episode or every time that you correct my fucking grammar. That one time when I said the more the merry, I'd like to fucking take that one back.
You like to walk that one back.
I
a little
didn't
bit.
love that part. That was not fun for me.
Okay.
I don't know.
Something I did, something you did. You know, I didn't know if there was
having the old brain fart. But there's not a whole episode that I would take back or that I disliked at all.
Yeah.
Is there something in particular that you're thinking of already that,
well,
that
yeah,
prompted that question?
I know that my least favorite episode, not because it's a bad episode, I just didn't like it. I mean, I didn't like it because I didn't like the research. I didn't really like where it went. And that's the Suicide Force of Japan. I didn't. It's not that I don't think it's a good episode.
No, I can agree with you 100% on that one. So, that was on my list, so I'll take all the fucking blame for that one. I don't know where I thought it would go. I didn't know much about it, so I think that I had thought it would be more
paranormal.
Yeah.
Things.
I thought it would be a little bit of fun, and I didn't obviously put that much thought into it because as soon as you started, I go, "Well, fuck."
Well,
it's a really sad fucking place, and there's no stories surrounding it that aren't sad. You know.
I think that had you done the episode, maybe it would have gone down differently. And I say this not to be rude.
No,
I'm saying it in actuality is because once I got into the story, I was like, I saw all these other people who use that story as being something that they can kind of project their own selling feature on.
Right.
Instead of this is really just a sad story of fucking
it's a sad
suicide.
place it is, and there are people that go there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it was completely innocent on my end to be, but you're absolutely right. I probably would have gone looking for the paranormal side of that story.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard tons of people. It's aliens or it's ghosts. It's this and that. It's a damned place. It's cursed and this. And I've heard all those things, and I'm like, dude, it's
bullshit.
You've got to me, it always felt like you have an agenda.
You're trying to capitalize on something that's
really just sad.
Right?
Yeah.
No. And I agree with you. And so I'm glad you did it because I would not have wanted to do something that made light of that place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I still wouldn't take back that we did that one, but I totally get what you're saying.
No, I'm saying
that it was not a fun episode.
No, and I'm glad it's out. Like I'm glad we did that episode.
Yeah,
I feel like it's an episode that if somebody's like trying to and then they hear that episode, it's like, oh wait, maybe I should reevaluate why I'm looking into this episode.
Right.
So I like that it's out there. It just was one of my least favorite ones to do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so that prompted me I've got mine. I got my answer.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and
Lay it on me.
yeah, the Iceman.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It was all me being in my head, and I think it was still because we were kind of short right after the Ripper Crew, and that was a real heavy one, and somewhat desensitized, not somewhat, very fucking desensitized. And then you do the Iceman, and I think it was like late or something, I don't remember, but the energy felt low. I ended up re-listening, and I liked the episode, but my reaction, I was like basically chalking the Iceman up to like, man, it's not very impressive. And I was like, hold up, dude, what the like, why was I so...
This dude was a mass murderer for decades.
Like
and
a brutal monster, that hunted homeless people, and I was like, nah,
yeah,
he's not that tough.
you're gonna need to sell him to me.
I don't think it came off that bad, but we both talked about it after the episode. Like, I don't know, how did that feel? And we felt the energy was low, but I also felt like my attitude was just like fucking shit on it. So that's the one that I would probably try to go into with a more open mind. Man, I'm really gonna like this Iceman guy next time.
Yeah, I'm really gonna try. Really gonna try to pull for this dude.
Right, but no, for real. Like, I think we even talked about it in the episode. I don't know why I'm not impressed with this dude, or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
So probably that one.
Yeah.
Or no, not probably. Definitely that one. Yeah.
Definitely that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really feel like that one came off bad. Like I
re-listened to it. It was all right. Like, it was cool.
No, I say that. I mean, not every episode is going to be,
whoa,
jokes and fun and
no, right,
and
mind.
Some of them are justifiably not going to be fun.
No,
but some of the episodes, start with light banter and joking around, and then get super fucking dark,
and then all of a sudden, hold up,
and then some. We've been able to kind of continuously
make sly remarks.
Do
what we do.
I feel like each episode has its own like life and breath, and in the same sense that we don't post pictures of victims,
right?
Or we try to honor the people who are the fucking innocent victims in these situations. Is the same reason I'm not gonna like force a fucking shitty joke into an episode.
Yeah, no. When it's time to fucking listen and hey, we're not.
Yeah, like that's why we can't do the script. Like we're not doing this stupid shit and the
fuck all that
blah 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 blah. Like no man. Like each episode's gonna be its own thing, man. And I think that is one of the reasons that we enjoy this is because if you lock it into a box, then the fucking box is too small. It doesn't matter how big the box is at the beginning, it's going to be too small.
Yep.
And so fuck it, man. Like the best part about this is there are no rules. There
I don't want to be in a box. Yeah.
There is no fucking content that is what we are going to do other than we're telling a story. You can't be any more versatile than we're here to tell a story.
Fuck yeah.
So,
this is a story time podcast. I think you said that. I like that.
Yeah, it's a story time podcast.
Yeah.
It is true-ish.
True-ish crime.
It is not factual. It is not a book report.
Dark
we
humor.
Do not work for fucking Dateline.
No, right. They would not have us.
They would not have us. We say that. But it would be fucking hilarious if, like, one day they're like, "We'd like to,
yeah,
we'd like to have you on our show."
You guys really actually nailed that Israel Keys case. Like, you were right.
You guys fucking crushed that shit. Fucking crushed that shit.
No, but it has been a fun fucking ride so far, dude, and I'm excited to do some more and hopefully get some more listeners, so we can just keep fucking growing this thing and keep pushing, dude.
One thing that I kind of want to say is, for any other people out there who listen to a lot of podcasts or watch a lot of shows or do the serial killer docs and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I'm not calling you out. Like, if that's what you like, where it's very serious,
you do you,
info driven, factually driven thing, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, the minute this feels like it is that for us,
Work.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what we got involved
No,
in this
it's not.
for. We did this just for shits and giggles.
Shits and giggles. We want to tell a story. We want to do it justice, but it's got to be fucking fun along the way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, there's a bump in the road and it's not so much fun, but it's still a story that's worth hearing.
Yeah.
And hopefully we fucking do it justice by telling it the way that we fucking
Right.
tell it. Some of the facts could be
Right.
complete and utterly wrong, but hey, hopefully you enjoyed the trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and so the point of me saying that was that, we've kind of said in previous episodes, like, oh, we're not just going to revisit heavy hitters over and over and over again like some of these other groups do. It's not that we won't, especially if we get a lot of suggestions. We'll do them. Yeah, we'll do. I've got another big heavy hitter coming up next week. But
I just did one that fucking it hit hard.
A bit rough.
Hard.
A bit rough.
but
it surprised both of us.
But-
Fucking woof.
yeah,
Woof.
but that's the thing is, you guys as the listeners, you guys are keeping the blood flow fresh. So if you guys want to
That's
hear
right.
stuff, man, throw it out there.
Yeah.
And
Hit us up on the Instagrams,
on the Instagrams and the Facebooks,
the Facebooks,
and the Twatters.
the Twatters. Podcast BOTE, BOTE is our Twitter handle.
Yeah,
And based on True Events Podcast on the Facebook and Instagram.
And if you just want to send us an email and stay off of the social media avenues, then you can hit us at based on True Events Podcast at gmail.com.
Boom. There it is.
All right. Best and worst episodes. I don't know if we did best and worst. I think we did our most enjoyable and
Well, as per usual, we said, well, this is what we're going to do, and then we fucking don't
Off
do it.
the
but
fucking rails, baby. Off
that's
the
how we roll,
rails.
bitches.
yeah.
Shit.
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 All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, bro.
Peace.